All right, let's start for Burn for Me, which is the first in this Hidden Legacy series by Alona Anders, which is a husband and wife team. In which, yes, we start out now with a Nevada Baylor who is running is the head of the family business, which is a private detective thing. And we open with her in prototypically in a hotel filming a cheating husband who the wife actually bursts in. Suddenly the husband goes very cold. She's like, oh crap, you need to get away from him because he's gonna, if you get into a car with him, he's going to you're never going to be seen again. So she gets in the way. She gets the wife to run. He loses his temper and suddenly sparks up with magic powers because this is in. We open with a little opener, which is the whole thing of the culty syndrome serum or whatever it was that that they got developed and gives people magic powers. And even once they'd put the cork back in, it was too late. People had powers and they could pass it down into the families, and suddenly people weren't marrying for wealth anymore. It was marrying for magic powers, and that's become the currency of this modern day world. And so he sparks with power and starts shooting flame, or not flame, power at her. She has to let him hit him once, so it's like she's got she can claim, yeah, he assaulted me, so I'm just defending myself. Um, whacks him with a taser, takes him out, um, cuffs his hands, and the cops, after checking it out, sort of let him go and stuff like that. Goes back to the fam. There's the fam, and there is Amber, Amber, and where is Amber, and yes, the protagonist of the book that I actually mistakenly started, which is Catalina, and they're having a fight, and Burr, the tech guy, is kind of holding Amber back, which is pretty brave since she turns into a gigantic rage monster, or not rage monster, but super tall, big giant monster. And they're fighting over something silly. But they get word that Montgomery wants to see them, which is the big firm which I guess bought them out, mortgaged. They had to mortgage their thing because of medical bills for their father, who ended up dying from whatever he had. So I think it's some sort of cancer. But now they're basically owned lock, stock, and barrel by them. So they summon them, summons Nevada, say, okay, you've probably seen the reports. They want this Alexander Payne, or something like that guy, who is a pyro. They want him taken alive before the cops get him, because he has broken into a bank, flambéed a security cop, a security an officer, and his family that had stopped by to kind of visit him, but only kind of burned them so that they survived, but killed the cops. So the cops all want him, and they want him dead. Um, and and we've also gotten a little clip of another family going up and saying, like, their son had fallen in with this Alexander guy. It's like, can you help him? And this is Rowan, Mad Dog Rowan, which we will learn later is a super, super, super powerful kind of organic prime who can chop buildings in half, and has been like in the army for a good long time and has now gotten out and is a recluse. And he's agreed to help, and she has to agree to help, as she has to agree to track down Alexander Payne, or whatever the hell his name is, even though she really doesn't want to. He's like a little fucking psycho with, like, devil eyes, and is basically enjoys doing mayhem. And it's like, he'll most likely try and kill me if I try and take him, like, against his will. But they say, like, nope, if you refuse an assignment, you're breaking the contract and we'll repossess everything and you will be completely destitute and your entire family will be completely destitute, which she really doesn't want. So it's basically forced into trying to find him. It's like, joy. So yes, now she's, you know, tracking down leads, starting off with family friend, a friend, because Byrne is able to kind of track down a bunch of stuff. One of the things being that he's got a family friend who bailed him out a couple of times. It turns out the family friend actually was drafted as well. He says, like, you were drafted into this, weren't you? Are you doing this against your will? Yeah. Yeah, well, basically I was volunteered into this as well. Um, he's a little psycho. It's like we were kids and he stole candy and someone tried to stop him and he melted that person's face and he was just like, you cannot stop. You can, he's a little psycho, basically. And but yes, I did bail him out a couple of times because basically because family had power over me still. They gave me the money and I bailed them out. That way it wasn't like cool rebel getting bailed out by his mommy. It was like, no, it was a family friend doing it. So if you're going to find him, good luck and really, really be careful because if he doesn't want to come, he will toast you as well. So yes, that's where we're at in all this. And they're really freaked out when they find out there's a connection with the other kid and Mad Dog Ronan because it's like he's beyond powerful and they're just like, holy shit. But of course, she's also got a little bit of like ooh, he's so powerful. And he's got those haunted eyes because they find an old video of him when he was like 19 demonstrating his powers. And it's just like, whoa, she's just getting very, very excited by it, which, it's this kind of book where the woman really get turned on by all that raw animal power and haunted kind of, resigned, sad eyes and looks. It's like, just gets them very excited, which is, yes, female fantasy is a thing, and we shall see how well it's told. The team of Alona Andrews do a good job of telling these stories. Click, 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 clicks along, fun, not particularly deep, but yeah, good. I like the dialogue. I like the dialogue between her, Nevada, and the childhood friend. That was good. Yeah. So they're doing well. We'll get into that sad-eyed, probably super good-looking Mad Dog Ronan, who's just misunderstood but super powerful, or something like that. Oh, and Nevada does have a magic power, but people don't know she does, which is basically it's a truth thing where she can tell if a person is lying or not. And indeed, like when the Hamilton guy says, like, we want you to do this job, and it's like, oh no, you're very well qualified for it. And she's like, you're lying, and she can do it, and she quickly clicks it together that like, oh, you basically don't want to waste any of your own people on this because you're afraid they're all going to get flambéed. However, our house, our little PI form, if we all get flambéed, then it's no big deal, and you can say, oh look, we tried. It's this very, very competent PI firm. It's got a 90% success rate, even though it's 90% success rate of doing basically divorce and very simple things because we never take on anything that we can't handle. So yes, so we've got that. So that's a nice little thing. She's not super overpowered. She's just got an interesting little power, which in some ways is what Catalina has as well. Is Catalina has got her romance, make every siren power, which isn't like a violent power. It's more subtle. But even Nevada is even less powered than that. It's gotta think things up. And apparently people don't know that she has a power, which is probably quite useful. Quite useful indeed. All right, I will stop there. And yes,